So you are one of the most qualified people in the world to answer this question.
Yes.
Despite what Draymond may have said, does this current Warriors team remind you of your We Believe Warriors team?
Absolutely not.
Okay, he is
this
right.
This team is coming off a dynasty,
Yeah.
3 championships. I think what made that We Believe team so special, because if you look at it, it was about 3 months. We won 1 series,
Right.
we lost in the second round. What made that team so special is the bond we developed off the court, how everyone ended up in Golden State, the bonds our moms had before my mom died. So we were just a team that was different. But all you're seeing right now at Golden State is what you're supposed to see is they're getting hot at the right time. So I completely agree with Draymond. We're not offended by it. He's right.
Yep. What do you think, Perk?
Well, look. I actually like it, and I'm not talking about the overall dynasty, man. I'm talking about same position, right? The same position. Y'all were 8 seed that went up against the number 1 seed and beat Dallas that year, right? This is the same position. The Golden State Warriors are probably going to be the 8 seed, and they're going to go against the top seed. And so I see it because no one believed in them, and I get it. They have Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters of all time, one of the greatest players of all time. But you're right, they were different. Y'all had Baron Davis, who's, by the way, one of the most underrated PGs of all time to ever play the game of basketball. And when I look at the personnel, yes, y'all had dogs, right? Y'all had killers. Y'all had guys that would get up into your airspace, get up into your face, that wanted all the smoke. They have guys that could play. They don't want all the smoke, but they go out there and get the job done. And when I look at a guy like Andrew Wiggins, he reminds me a lot of Steven Jackson right now, the way that he's playing. He's playing both ends of the floor. He's contributing offensively at a high rate, efficient rate, and he's bought into the culture. I'm not saying that they are y'all personality-wise.
They are
but
not.
I'm saying same position, and I love the direction. I kind of love the comparison. Not the dynasty overall, just this year.
Well, let me take that the next step, Perk. And by the way, I'm going to just let the Wiggins Jack thing float because, yeah, that's better not to get into on television. But I will say this. If you look at them being potentially the 8th seed against a number 1 seed, which is Utah right now, the Jazz just announced that Donovan Mitchell will not be playing the rest of the regular season. He is going to debut back from that injury in the first round, so he will be just getting his legs back under him. Matt, what would you say right now if you had to pick a Utah Warriors first-round series?
I would love to see the Warriors win, and I think they have a great chance, especially if their leading scorer, someone who leads them on both sides of the floor, and Donovan Mitchell is either struggling. Everyone knows an ankle, you can't just turn it on with an ankle. If it's not feeling good, it's going to be tough, and to have to chase a Steph around and play it out of so many pick and rolls, that can really hinder this team. So I said this earlier, and I say this with all due respect to Utah and Phoenix. I wouldn't be surprised if a 7-2 or a 1-8 upset happened in the first round of the playoffs this year.
Who you pick, Perk?
Well, first, Rachel, let me go back to your point real quick. I would never disrespect my big brother stacking.
No.
Let me clear that up.
Okay, you got that part, right? They 2 different people.
They're pretty different.
But I will say this. I want you and Matt to go back into the bubble with me last year, right? And you remember what Jamal Murray did to the Utah Jazz to get through that series? Are y'all telling me that Steph Curry can't do the same thing? He can.
Absolutely.
And then also, you're looking at 2 former Defensive Player of the Years going at it. Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green. Draymond Green is so awesome at anchoring the defense and calling out sets and putting guys in position to be successful. But you look at guys like Poole. You look like guys like Looney, who's been there before. And if the Utah Jazz are not healthy, Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley coming off an injury, hey,
anything
the Golden State Warriors got a fair shot.
Absolutely.
Well, look, Draymond Green said the other night he thinks he's Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert has said he thinks he's Defensive Player of the Year. I believe Drew Holiday just told Yahoo he thinks he's Defensive Player of the Year. I know that we've heard Joel Embiid say that he thinks he's Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. The only one who I can never get to stump for himself, Nikola Jokic, is always so humble. He's like, I'll let other people talk about MVP. Other players, though, they have some thoughts about where they go, and Draymond certainly one. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.